Hello and welcome to the Action Sports for All podcast. My name is Thomas Woods. I'll be your host for this evening. This episode was amazing. It was with the amazing Cath Shanks. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. So, tell us a bit about yourself.
My name's Cath. I'm 26. I'm from East Yorkshire. However, I currently live in Manchester and I am a skateboarder and skateboard coach.
Sick. So how'd you get started riding them?
It took me a while to get into, actually, to be honest. I played football for 8 years and that was kind of where I thought I saw my life going. I almost was going to go out to America on a scholarship and then I didn't, and then I slowly started to lose my love for football. I went into coaching and then I went to uni and studied sports coaching, and I just thought I'd be in football for the rest of my life. And then as it became more of a job, I started to love it a little bit less, but I loved coaching and helping people. And then when I moved to Manchester about 3.5 years ago, I thought, I've just had enough. I just kind of want a break from football. And then I'd always wanted to skate, but I'd never had the confidence. So when I was 10, I had a skateboard and ramps in my back garden, the standard Argos ones that most people have. I always wanted to use them, but I did in my back garden, but as soon as I went to a skate park, I just froze. I was like, I can't do this. They're all going to look at me. They're going to think I'm rubbish. And with other sports, it's kind of easy to get into on your own, but to skate, in a skate park, you need a skate park. So you need to do it there.
Yeah.
And if you can't go when no one else is there, then you're just not going to have the opportunity to get into it. And I just couldn't do it. So when I stopped playing football, I was like, right, I'm going to do it. And I found out that there was a girls only skate night at Projects in Manchester, the skate park. And I told myself I was going to go. My friend that I was living with, his friend worked there as a coach. And so I messaged her and I was like, I'm thinking about coming down, but I'm really nervous, etc. And then she was like, come on down. And then she missed the first 3 months that I was going to go, because at that point it was only a monthly occurrence. So I just didn't want to go unless I knew someone. And then it got to the 3rd month and she was like, I'm not going to be there. And I was like, I'm just going to have to do it.
Yeah.
And I went and I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. I can't believe I've not done this before. And from that day, I literally never looked back. I got a job coaching within a month and that was it. I was just a skater.
Yeah. I know when I first started skating in my chair, it was if I was going to the skate park, I had to go with one of my friends because otherwise it was a bit odd going by yourself. It's quite intimidating.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously being a girl, I can imagine it's kind of the same isolation you feel in a chair because you don't see many other people like yourself there. And every time I went to a skate park, there was no girls. And I don't think I'd remember seeing one, but if I did, there was probably the chance that they were really good. And I was like, they're not going to want to speak to me, they're not going to come and help me. So I'm just not going to do it. And yeah, the first few months, definitely, I was like, I need to go with someone. But then once I just kind of got the burning passion for it, I was like, I just don't care. I just want to skate.
So yeah, amazing. So you've been riding for many years now. Where's your favourite place, to go and ride, whether that's a skate park or a spot?
Oh, see, I obviously should definitely say Projects because I work there. That's where I learn. I learned all of my basic tricks there. And I love it. It's got my heart. But to be honest, I've actually been skating at Gravestone more recently, and I think it's because it's indoor and I've got used to skating wood a little bit more. There's the mini street section there that I just love because you can just do so much different stuff there.
Yeah.
It's inside, it's warm, so it's all year round. And yeah, I'm just doing my rehab there at the moment. So because I've kind of been off for a year and got back into skateboarding, it means more to me at the moment because I'm just enjoying it so much more than I ever have before because I've missed it for so long. And it just feels extra special. So Greystone probably at the moment, but I hope my boss doesn't watch this.
I think the food definitely helps as well. They've got a great food there.
Yeah, the vegan burger is the best vegan burger in Manchester for sure.
I've not tried that. I'll have to do it next time we go. So recently, talking about Gravestone, they had a massive competition with Red Bull, and you were a big part of that, weren't you? You were a judge.
Yeah, I was so fortunate to be involved. So basically, at the moment, Red Bull are kind of looking after me for my physio and things like that. And So I've been meeting up with Harry King. He's a local skateboarder. He's insane, and he's a really nice guy. And he's kind of the local rep for Red Bull. And he kind of just came up to me and was like, obviously checking on how I'm going. And he was like, "Oh, Cath, I've got this idea. Like, because of lockdown, like I just want to do something. I want to do a project." And he kind of just laid out the idea to me of like a COVID-friendly skate like competition. So the riders will come in. It'll just be them, a couple of filmers. They've got an hour to film one run. What do you think? And I was like, that sounds insane. So we just bounced off a few ideas, and he was like, "I'd really like your help." And I was like, "What, me?" Like,
yeah.
So we just kind of had a chat, throw some ideas around, and then I helped him recruit all the girls. And then I was like, obviously I couldn't skate myself because I'm still recovering from ankle surgery. So he asked me to be a judge, and I was like, I would absolutely love to. And then the event itself was just amazing to be a part of, and yeah, it's kicked off really well, I think. You've seen the standard of the skating. It was really fun to be a part of.
Do you think park runs too would happen?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's a good idea, because we don't know where we're going to be in 6 months, whether, you know, this vaccine is going to come and work and solve everything, or whether we're going to be in the same position. So I think it's definitely got, even without COVID, it's got a kind of a really unique feel to it, that all of the skaters who weren't comp skaters and skaters who were comp skaters, and like they said, it's like nothing they've ever done before. And so it'd be really nice to keep that going, and it did seem to be very well received, so hopefully we can kind of bump it up to a national scale and do a bigger one, maybe like summer next year. Well, this year now, it's 2021. But fingers crossed. I definitely think it can go far, like as a competition.
Yeah. And was it hard to judge all of those amazing runs?
Yeah, it was funny really, because I've never judged before. I've skated in a competition, and we obviously, the other two guys, so it's Ben Grove, who's got a lot of judging experience, and then my friend Danny, who's the coaching manager at Gravestone. He's judged a couple of things before. I was the only one that hadn't done it. And then some of my scores, it was like, I'd been there obviously when they were recording it, and I kind of seen the type of runs people were putting down. But when I had to judge, I had to kind of like, right, I'm judging solely on this run right here in front of me. And from the reaction I got from people who were there and were saying, "Oh yeah, this run, I think he's won," etc. When I judged it, like my results weren't what I thought they'd come out to be. But I was like, over them 4 times, I was like, no, this is correct. This is my judging. And then so we had to have like a judges meeting, and we all come together, and we like compared our scores, and they actually come out really similar. So I was like, oh, I've done it right.
Yeah.
Even there's no right way, obviously. You're judging on what you see, and because I think the categories were technicality, creativity, and style.
Yeah.
So obviously they're quite opinionated things, and it's like, I think someone skates a bit more stylish, they're going to get more points. So I was really worried that I just got the wrong end of the stick, but it turned out really well. We're really happy with who won, because they just kind of hammered trick after trick. They didn't stop. And the girls' competition, especially Freya Brooks, who won it, her run just, without, in the nicest way possible, it blew everyone out of the water. She sent it, and it was ace.
Cool. So, as you said earlier, you work at projects. What's that been like, especially with their push for more female skaters?
Oh, it's been amazing, because I got involved at projects through the girls' night. When I got there, they'd kind of tried for a few years a while ago with a girls' night, and it was good, but it just kind of stayed as it was, like maybe 8 or 10 girls a week. And then there was a big push, like kind of the time I got started. And then I applied to be a coach a month after starting. And then they also released a role called Female Development Officer, which was basically a comic relief position that was funded for 2 years to get more girls into skateboarding and to help girls increase their confidence through skateboarding. And I got that job. So my job for the past 2.5 years has basically been encouraging young girls to get into skateboarding and showing them the benefits it can have. And so I've spent 2 years going into schools, teaching girls. The funding also allowed us to change the girls' night from a monthly to a weekly, and the numbers just went crazy. At the moment, we're capped to 45 because of, well, obviously we're closed at the moment because of lockdown, but since COVID, we've had to limit, and it sells out like a month in advance, and that's weekly sessions. It's not just like a monthly session. And I think the biggest attendance we've ever had was like over 80 girls in the skate park, which on a normal session we never get that many people. So it's amazing to see the demand. And at the moment, like I said, we're having to think about putting on a second session a week when we reopen, because it sells out so far in advance. And considering that not many girls even skated, I felt when I started, it is just insane to see the rise in women. So
yeah, amazing. So where do you see your career going, especially now opening your skate school?
I just want to do what I love for the rest of my life. I've had boring jobs, and I was just like, yeah, it's all right money, but my life isn't what I want it to be. I'd rather kind of live paycheck to paycheck and be happy than, you know, have loads of money in my bank and just have a crappy job and not much time to myself. So if I can kind of sustain myself off of skateboarding and skate coaching, then I'll be happy. Like, I want to travel. So last year I was supposed to be going to Canada and Palestine, and also a couple of festivals like Glastonbury and VC in Wales. Doing up my skateboard coaching. So I'm hoping that once the Rona clears off, I can kind of get that back. So I'll do my staple amount of coaching here in the UK, and then I'll get to go and do skate schools, around the world. And that's just the absolute dream, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit crazy. I mean, people are still launching businesses while Corona's going on.
Yeah, I launched it like on New Year's Day, because I'm actually going to be moving to London in a couple of months. I've told that many people yet. But I'm going to go live down there because that's where my boyfriend lives. And also we're looking at places in Stratford, and there's like 4 mega outdoor skate parks right next to it. And I just feel like it's the place to be at the moment for me. So I'm excited about that. But I thought I'd launch it kind of in 2021, and like right at the beginning. And then I've got a couple of months to kind of get it established and stuff before I move down there. And then, 4 or 5 days into January, here's a big lockdown and can't do anything. I was just like, right, cool, let's go. But I'm still optimistic, because I think he's still allowed to do outdoor one-to-one coaching at the moment, as long as you're distance safe. However, outdoor skate parks are closed, so I wouldn't want to try and run my business in somewhere I'm not allowed to be. So it's obviously going to take a back seat for the time being, but I'm really confident that once we kind of get through the worst of this, that I'll start kind of getting a few clients in and just enjoying myself. Like I think you can never a business will never fail as long as you're super passionate about it, and you just keep fighting for it. So I'm going to do my best to make it work.
Cool. So obviously you're launching this, and you're working at projects. Where do you see the action sports industry heading?
Oh, it's a weird one, really, because I feel like it's heading straight for the mainstream, which is weird to say for like our sports. Like, you skate down a street and people look at you like you're doing something wrong, and it's like, what's your problem? And then, now with the Olympics and stuff like that, and there's a lot more funding going into it. I seen that Skateboard GB are applying, they're recruiting for a community development officer. So they've got loads of money to kind of develop skateboarding in the community. And the idea is to get like skatable objects in city centres, so that skateboarding is more welcomed in cities. So, if that happens, that's just going to be amazing, because although there is still like a grungy side to action sports where, you kind of get chased out by security for trying to ride places, once it's in the Olympics and it's a sport now, like the other sports are, because like snowboarding and things like that, they're action sports and they're widely accepted now. But obviously you don't do that in the public eye as much. So
No.
I'm hoping that, it'll only have a positive impact. I know that some of the like hardcore skaters that kind of feel like they own the sport, like don't like the fact it's going into the Olympics and it's getting mainstreamed and kind of sold out a little bit. But to be honest, for me, as long as it means there's more skate parks for people, there's more opportunities to get into action sports, and there's funding behind it, like it can't be a bad thing whatsoever.
Yeah, I think, and companies really are pushing for skateboarding to join the mainstream, especially with City More Skate. Have you heard about them launching their skate dot project?
Oh, no, I haven't actually.
Well, what it is, it's they're building this whole new thing in London, and around the area they want architectural skate spots that you're allowed to ride, which
Oh,
is
I
really
think
cool.
I'm heard of that actually, but not specifically like the name of it.
Yeah,
That is really cool because skateboarding is like a form of art, and for as many people as there are looking and turning their noses up, there's people stopping to watch who are really interested by it. So yeah, I think that's really good. And I think Hull became one of the first skate friendly cities last year or the year before, because one of their new venues, they basically said it's welcome for skaters, but all the ledges were like 4 foot high, and it's like, who's really going to ollie onto those?
yeah,
So hopefully, more features will become available. People will get kicked out of spots less, because there's a spot in Manchester called Urbis where everyone skates the ledges, and more damage is done by the trucks that come on every year in Christmas markets. They like dent the flags and stuff, and they chip the marble. And the skateboarders go back and fix it, because they put polyfiller into the cracks because they want it to be as smooth and as nice as possible. And but the council don't see that. They see it as, they're
yeah.
destroying their area. So hopefully, yeah, with like projects like that and all the funding and the Olympics, it can only grow and become more accepted, because it's a dream to just be able to just go and skateboard anywhere. You see spots and you're like, oh my god, that looks so good, I'm gonna get kicked out in 30 seconds.
Yeah. So what is, your dream, your bucket list skate spot or park?
Oh, that's a big question. It's a weird one actually, because I've recently started watching this girl called Hayley Isaac skating,
Yeah.
and just this skate park in California. I think it's in Thousand Oaks, and I think it's called Park Moore or something like that. And she just goes there and skates every day, and it's a weird one. It's like, it's not like a big bucket list spot, like going and skating like Spot Tampa or something like that. It's
Yeah.
literally just a skate park, but it's in Cali. It's really sunny every single
Yeah.
day. So I think instead of like wanting to go there once, it'll be, I want to move there at some point and just live and go and skate every day because it's warm and sunny. So yeah, there's this random park in California somewhere that although if I had to choose a bucket list like visit once, I know I think it's in Thailand, there's this ramp that is like on the edge of a mini cliff, and it overlooks the sea.
Cool.
And the photos you get there, I know this is kind of like a Instagram type bucket spot. You get a picture on that quarter pipe, it's just insane. And it's like that one quarter pipe, I can't remember where it is, but I've got it pinned on my Google Maps to go there one day. And just somewhere like that is just like heaven. So yeah, one of those two.
I think for me, it's got to be somewhere for like a one visit. It would have to be somewhere like Woodward.
Yes.
Woodward
There's quite a few Woodwards, isn't there? And actually, come to think of it, do you follow Elliot Sloan?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he's that skater, and he's got like a mega ramp in his back garden, and every time it loads, I'm just like, I would, I've not even sent the mega Gravestone yet, because I've obviously been injured for quite a while, but I want to do that. But I'm just like, if I got the chance to go to Elliot Sloan's mega ramp, I don't care if I came home in an ambulance, like, I'm gonna send that mega ramp. It is amazing. And yeah, so I do want to go to somewhere with a mega ramp and just send it, like.
Yeah. What do you think of Woodward Park City then, that they've just opened?
I've not seen that much of it. I've watched like Woodward stuff before, but I don't know, I watch more street stuff.
Yeah.
However, I did have a quick browse, like I think it was a few weeks ago, because when you just get in that scroll of just looking at skate clips, and you find a skater that you like, or a rider, and then you watch all their clips, and they were at Woodward, and there was like this big street plaza.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, my days, this is insane. So I think that is another one where if I got the chance to go and spend a couple of weeks at Woodward, that'd just be insane.
Well, I know in Woodward Park City they've got an entire concrete indoor plaza that looks sick.
Well, yeah,
And
yeah, that'd be nice.
They've got like a 3-story mega, I think. It's 3 stories high at the top.
Ooh. Would you send it? That's the question.
Yeah, I'd send it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's so sick.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you have epilepsy, don't you?
I do, yeah.
And do you think that's affected your skate career?
I don't think so. Like, if anything, it's kind of improved my attitude towards it, because I'm sure you've heard similar things along the lines of, so basically skateboarding and epilepsy don't go. It's like, who are you to tell me what I can and can't do?
Yeah.
So hearing that always makes me think you don't know anything. Obviously there's times, so like the beginning of last year, almost a year ago now, I think it was March last year, just before COVID got really bad, I actually got kicked out of hospital because of COVID. I spent like a week in hospital having 4 or 5 seizures a day.
Oh, no.
And times like those, I just think, well, that's it. Like, am I ever going to like get out of this like rut of seizures? Like, am I going to come out of it different? Because like you can have one big seizure and it change your life forever. Is this me now? Do I just have 4 or 5 seizures a day? Because that is how some people's lives are. But thankfully for me, we changed my medicine and it kind of helped a lot. And so I'm only having seizures like every few weeks now. So obviously there are times where, I've made plans. I've been skating every day and then I'll have a bunch of seizures and it's like I can't skate for a week because I'm just stuck in bed. But then it's also given me the drive to just make the most of every single day where I can skate and where I can do stuff. And some days just getting out of bed for me is an achievement if I've been having seizures. So yeah, it's just kind of made me appreciate what I do have and the good days way more. So when I'm not having seizures, I just send it. I just go full whack and enjoy my life as much as I can. Some people will question that because it's like, well, you should be careful. What if you have a seizure? And I'm like, if I have a seizure, I'll worry about it when it happens. Until then, I'm gonna enjoy myself.
So what's your skate shoe of choice then?
The downstairs. Otherwise, I'd show you. I skate Vans because they have the Ultra Cush and there's also a new one now, something else Cush, and it's just like a really nice insole, so it's really soft, like when you're landing and stuff. And I've skated like Converse and Nikes, and I spent like 65 quid on the first ever female pro pair of Nikes skateboarding shoes, and I went through them in like a couple of weeks, and I was like, well, that's not very good. And then I skate in Vans, and I always get the men's pro models. So I've skated the Chima Pros recently, and then I've just gone onto the Cal Walker Pro 2s because they're Velcro. And I don't know if you know, but one of the things you do when you're skating is you go through laces quite quickly. So there's obviously a couple of bits that you scratch off when you're ollieing or doing flips and stuff, where you get a hole in your shoe and it's like got reinforced rubber there, but also you go through laces quite a lot, and these are Velcro. So for me, it's just like the perfect shoe because it's going to last so much longer, and you don't want to be changing pairs of shoes every 3 or 4 weeks because you only just get used to them. So yeah, I love Vans. Like they're what I skate in, they're what I wear every day as well. So
cool. I actually almost got a pair of Kyle Walker Pro 2s. They didn't have my size in the shop.
Oh no, got it.
It was right before Corona as well. It was like a week after we went into lockdown, so I never got them.
Damn it. Yeah, no, they're some of the nicest shoes I've ever had. Yeah. That's a similar problem for like women in skateboarding. Not myself personally, because I'm a size 6, so thankfully I'm just on the kind of scale of men's or adult shoes. But quite a lot of my friends have small feet, so they're like size 4, 5, and you can't get adult shoe sizes. So Nike actually recently did a campaign for women, and they especially made smaller size pro skate shoes for women skaters.
Oh, wow.
And released on one day. Because I know that one of the local shops in Manchester kind of said, come down, women only, and get yourselves these special pair of shoes in a smaller size. But I was like, I'm not coming because I don't wear like Nikes. But yeah.
So over Christmas, I saw on your Instagram you doing a lot of trivia with your family and friends. So I thought I'd put together the Cath Shanks trivia.
Oh, this
is all information that's easily found about you online.
Oh wow, okay. I'm excited, nervous.
Right, so to start off, you starred in an Ali Law video. I think a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, I did.
How many views is that video on?
Well, I know it's got at least a.
I've got A, B, and C here.
Have you?
2.3.
Okay.
B 3.4. Or C 2.4.
Was the first one 2.3?
2.3 is a yes.
Well, I'm going to go for the most modest option and think that the least amount of people have watched it. So I'm going to go for 2.3.
Well, you shouldn't have been humble at all. It was 3.4.
Oh, well, that explains that all the 10-year-old kids that get following me, like, oh, I've seen you in Ali Law's video. When I was there, I just went and hung out with him, and, you know, we had a really good night. We're really good friends now as well. So the fact that I still get messaged now, like, oh, I saw you in Ali's video and I followed you and now I still follow you. I'm like, that is crazy. Like,
yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like to be Ali. Like, if I get like attention off the back of that video and he's like the guy, you know, he's got over 3 million subscribers himself, just blows my mind. Because even when I get a message, I'm like, what?
I mean, he just released a book, hasn't he?
Yeah, I've got it actually. I should do some promo. Hang on. Living on the Edge by Ali Law.
Link in the description, you can go buy it.
Hey.
So the next question. What was the first Instagram photo you posted? A. What year did it come out? A. 2012. B. 2014. Or C. 2011.
See, I feel like I could work this one out because I know that I've actually archived the first photo I ever posted because it's me playing bingo.
Oh.
So it was when I was turned 18, I think. So let me think what that was. How old am I? 26, 8 years ago. So I'm gonna guess. Oh, what was the options again?
So it's 2012, 2014.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for 2012.
2012. Are you correct? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah, once I turned 18, I got myself a phone contract because I had a job, and then I got Instagram because I finally got my first iPhone. So that's how I remember, I think, anyways.
Cool. Right, so the next one. You were in the Capital FM studios. In what year?
Oh, okay, again, so I know why I was there. I was doing some work with the National Lottery and I was just helping them out, and they had a competition for fans of Dan TDM to meet him. They created a soundtrack for his YouTube videos and I got to I just liaised with them, and yeah, so that was what have you got options?
I have options, yes. So we have
okay,
A, 2016, B, 2018, or C, none of the above.
Oh, well, that's a curveball, isn't it? So I've been involved with the lottery for around 6 or 7 years now. So did you say 2016, 2018 or 2014?
It was 2016, 2018 or none of the above.
It's either 16 or none of the above, I think. So that's 4.5. I'm going to go for, I think you've thrown none of the above in as a curveball, so I'm going to go for 2016.
Unfortunately, you were 1 year early. It was 2017, so it was none of the above.
Damn.
So, over lockdown, everybody kind of picked something up. You picked up slacklining, and you made YouTube videos about it. Can you remember the date you posted the first one? Was it A, May 7th, 2020, B, May 4th, 2020, or C, May 14th, 2020?
I don't know why, but I think the 7th is sticking out at me, so I'm just going to go for it. I remember what it was called and everything, but yeah, go on then, May 7th.
You were correct. It was May 7th.
Yes.
Right, our final question.
Okay.
1 year, I'll not say the year because that'd give away the question, but 1 year you posted a photo with you and Steve-O. What year was it?
I'm going to go straight, I was about to go straight off the bat and just guess it, but I'm going to let you give me options.
Okay, yeah. So you have A, 2016, B, 2015, or C, 2018?
See, have you definitely got the original post? Because I've reshared it.
I went straight to the bottom and worked my way up to make sure I got the original one.
Okay, cool. I feel like I know it was in like I think it was early December, and I shared it again when it was either 5 or 6 years ago that I shared it recently just on my story. I think it might have been 6. Was 2014 an option?
It wasn't. It was 2016, 2015, or 2018.
2015. Then I'm gonna go because I feel like it's definitely been 5 years at least.
You were 1 year out.
Oh, was it 2016?
It was 2016.
Oh wow, as if it's only been 4 years.
Yeah. So how many points did you get? You got 1, 2, 3 points. Did you get 3 out of 5? Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Don't even know myself, Tom. What's going on?
Okay, so that is unfortunately the end of the podcast. Would you like to plug your stuff?
I could do, yeah. First of all, I'll say thanks because it's been fun. Nice to have a chat, and I really like the little quiz at the end. Yeah, so I guess I should promote my new business.
Yeah.
It's just Shanks Skate School. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, etc., it's just Cath Shanks. So yeah, thanks for having me.
That'll be all in the description. Thanks, and goodbye.
Yeah.
Hi, Thomas here. I hope you enjoyed that episode. It was super fun to record. On our next episode, we'll be talking to Lewis Felix from @Erudiction. I can't wait. Thanks again to Cath for coming on. And also, if you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to listen to the audio version of these podcasts, you can get it anywhere you listen to your podcasts. Thank you. Goodbye.